Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in the video today, and the Oklahoma City Thunder have traded for Davis Bertans of the Dallas Mavericks in the NBA draft today, as we saw a really decent trade between the Thunder and the Mavericks that sent pick 10 and Davis Bertans to the OKC Thunder. In return, the Mavs got the Mavs got pick 12, where they selected Derek Lively the second. So they got Derek Lively the second, and not only that, but they got a trade exception from the Thunder, which ultimately they were able to move that trade exception. They traded that trade exception to the Sacramento Kings in return for Richaun Holmes, backup center, and a 24th overall pick. So ultimately, the Dallas Mavericks ended up turning Davis Bertans, and they got the 12th overall pick with Davis Bertans. They got the 12th overall pick with that trade exception for Bertans in the 10th overall pick. They got Derek Lively from Duke, 7'1", averaged 10 and 10 this year. So they got him, and then they used that trade exception to trade to the Kings and get Richaun Holmes, really good backup center, and the 24th overall pick, where they drafted Oliver Maxine Prosper, who's a really solid player as well. So I really like what Dallas has done in the trade, in some of their trades in the draft. Two of their selections did really good on the two selections at 24 and at 12, and then got Richaun Holmes with those two draft selections. But I thought Dallas did really well in the draft. But moving on from Dallas, OKC, I like what they got here. OKC drafted Cason Wallace, and I really like what I've seen from him. He's a really solid point guard, and I think he has a lot of potential. But I love the addition of Davis Bertans, because Davis Bertans is a great three-point shooter, and then not only that, but with the Thunder, they want to add in veteran experience, and with this pick right here, with this trade right here for the Thunder, adding in veteran experience, he has struggled the last couple years. Yes, I know that. He has struggled over the last couple years, but has had some last couple struggling years. But the 2020-21 season, he averaged 11 points per game with the Wizards. The 2019-20 season averaged 15 points per game. When he is getting solid minutes in the rotation, he's a solid player. He's a really good scorer. He's a really good three-point shooter. And if the Thunder can give him some nice minutes off the bench next season, I think he'll do really well for the OKC Thunder. I really like the addition for OKC. Using your thoughts on the trade for OKC. For OKC being able to get Cason Wallace, and then also being able to get Davis Bertans with Cason Wallace, and then Dallas getting that trade exception with the 12th overall pick, which eventually they selected Derek Lively, and then they flipped that trade exception for pick 24 and Richaun Holmes, where with pick 24, Dallas selected Oliver Maxine Prosper. So, I thought both teams did really well in this trade. OKC was able to get Cason Wallace with pick 10, and they got a really nice, solid veteran in Davis Bertans, really good three-point shooter, shoots 38% from three. And then Dallas was able to get pick 12 and a trade exception when they, flipped that trade exception for Richaun Holmes and pick Richaun Holmes. They flipped that trade exception to the Kings for Richaun Holmes in pick 24, and then drafted someone really solid at pick 24. So I thought both teams did really well. You guys have your thoughts on the Thunder trading for Davis Bertans, and that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out.